S is green. YouTube is green. Twitch is green. No, I already got that. And sending out the last alert. Good evening, sports fans. Welcome to League 1, Season 13, Week 7. We are deep into the regular season now, and with 2 conference games, I believe. First up, we have the Virginia Cavaliers at the Syracuse Orange. This is going to be followed by the Navy Midshipmen at the USF Bulls. So, without further ado, we'll take a quick look at Virginia's depth chart with the coach of the Syracuse Orange, Coach Spectre.
Hello, sports fans. Coach Spectre here, coach of the number 3 Syracuse Orangemen, hosting the Virginia Cavaliers this week. They come in with a winning record. Their quarterback, Lindell Stone, not rated very highly as a 77, but he's an impact player. So far this season, he's throwing for 230 yards a game. He's got a positive touchdown to interception ratio and a 123 rating. On the ground, he will take off. He's got 50 yards a game. A lot of that, we believe, is related to his low 65 awareness. If he feels pressured, he will take off. The halfback, a fantastic 88 senior, Jordan Ellis, who's averaging almost 100 yards a game. Not too involved in the passing game, but the impact player, the backup running back, leads us to believe that possibly Ellis has been hurt during the course of the season, as his numbers, Sharp's numbers, don't indicate that he should be an impact player. We don't expect to see very much of him. It should be the Ellis show. Zacchaeus, the leading receiver, a 94 receiver with 97 speed, getting 66 yards a game with 1 touchdown. Reed getting 77 yards a game. Looks like it's 2 quarterback set. Not too much from the slot or the 4th receiver. Tight end, definitely active. Evan Butts getting 50 yards a game. That's quality yardage for a tight end. So we expect to see 2 wide receivers and a tight end with a halfback, possibly 2, either 2 halfbacks or a fullback most of the day. The offensive line, a sophomore 79 at left, an 81 sophomore at left guard, 88 senior Jake Feeler, an 83 right guard, and a 78 sophomore right tackle. A young offensive line with a couple of promising talents that should be pretty good in a year or 2, still coming up through the ranks so far. Defensive end Christian Baumgardner with 86 strength, has gotten a sack and a half this year, and Christian Brooks with 82 speed on the right end position. 86 defensive tackle. We don't know if they're a 3 or a 4-man front. Looks like they might be a 4-man front, led by Handback at defensive tackle. The linebacking core, Malcolm Cook at left outside linebacker, an 84 overall, an 84 middle linebacker junior, and an 86 senior impact player at right outside linebacker, with a lot of acceleration and some decent awareness for an outside backer. Secondary, a lot of speed, 85, 82, 80. Every cornerback with speed in the 90s, and good awareness for the top 2, 90 and 86 awareness. Harris, of course, an impact player on defense, the leading cornerback at 85. He's got 2 interceptions so far this year, and we are fairly early in the season, just about a third of the way through, so he's off to a good start. Joey Blunt, 79 free safety, he's got a pick. And Juan Thornhill, the strong safety, 85 with 2 picks and a touchdown, one to watch for in the defensive backfield. Special teams, A.J. Mejia, 6 out of 8, and an excellent punter in Lester Coleman. The return game led by Devontae Cross and Olamide Zacchaeus. So we're going to have to play a smart game. This is a team that last year we only beat by 7, and we've played them before with other teams. Virginia can be a little bit tricky, a little bit deceptive regarding their roster. So we're going to play this smart and by the book and hope to get out of here with a win and keep our number 3 ranking in the polls and stay undefeated. Without further ado, I'll turn it back over to Coach Ninja. He's going to give you the play-by-play for this first game of our doubleheader, which will be followed by Navy taking on number 8 USF in the second game. One to look forward to there as Coach Ninja attempts to knock off yet another top 10 team.
Thank you, Coach. And without further ado, Cavaliers at Orange. Good evening. It's a common windless night in the Carrier Dome. I can tell you that. Because, you know, I have telepathic powers. As you can see, Syracuse Orange 4th in the country in points and 1st in defense against the run and defense against yardage in general. Virginia, they've got a stronger passing game than their running game. They've got an excellent amount of points and yards. Really, it's the balance between the two. Neither the passing game or the running game is spectacular, but they're both good enough that they seem to do well on offense. And similarly on defense, 2 defensive halves at pass and rush that aren't amazing, but that combine to do a pretty good job of keeping points off the board, if not yards. As you see, the Hoff-Richter, Dungy, Strickland, the 3 powerhouse players here for the Orange, and Zacchaeus, Coleman, and Ellis there for the Cavaliers. Similarly, a wide receiver, a punter, and an offensive player for both teams as the top players.
Hi everybody, Reese Davis with you, bringing you.
It's one of the most storied legacies in the history of college football.
I started my coaching career, I had a dream. And every decision that I made, that I will be the head football coach at Syracuse University. Undefeated, untied.
1959 national champions.
Syracuse has scored an undefeated season, and the team carries Ben Schwartzwalder off the field.
It's going to be the greatest victory that you kids have ever had.
Dozens of the most prolific and impactful players in the game. The first African-American to win the Heisman Trophy. 6 members of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. 53 All-America selections.
We need to make this place the hardest place to play in the country. We need you, we need everyone. This is our state, our town, our team, and we gotta win now. Go Orange!
Spanning more than 10 successful seasons and covering the country from California, Ohio, North Carolina, and Virginia. This is League1 NCAA football.
Don't you let anyone steal history away from you.
Since 1889, this is Syracuse football.
And with the pregame instructions, Metcalf takes gets the touchback in the end zone, and Dungy will start the game with the ball.
I've been watching him on film, and one thing I've seen is his ability to make good decisions. I mean, time after time, he just avoids the mistakes. And when you can do that as a quarterback and as a leader of an offense, you're going to move the football down the field.
The quarterback leads the team out on the field for the first drive.
The traditional 5-wide first play ritual. Custis on the drag, gets 3 yards and is jammed up immediately. But 3 yards is a win on first down for the Orange.
Second down, 7 to go. Ball on the 28-yard line.
Shotgun spread on 2nd and 2. The handoff is to Strickland. He gets 4 yards, make it 3rd and short. And another 5-wide set. Custis again on the drag. He gets 2 yards, but that's only half the distance.
The secondary decided to drop back into coverage here, and there was nobody open for the quarterback to deliver the ball to. Good job by the D.
And it's the offense that takes the field on 4th down.
4th and 2, their own 33. The Orange are going to expand one of their 12 4th downs. It's a quarterback keeper. Dungy takes it out and cuts upfield. He gets 6 yards before he's tackled. And that's a first down for the Orange on the ground for Dungy.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 40.
Another read option. This time Dungy looks like he keeps it. He looks outside, doesn't see what he likes, and turns back inside, gets 9 yards, running right upfield behind some blockers. 2nd and 1, every coach's favorite down and distance.
It's 2nd down, 1 yard to go. Ball on the 49-yard line.
We now see an I formation from the Orange. Handoff to Strickland. He gets outside and is caught at the edge after 6 yards. Excellent run by Strickland, but better run blocking to get him the free space to turn that outside for 6.
First down, 10 to go. Ball on the 45.
And the Orange go back to the spread offset. They hand it off to Strickland again. Strickland, he's gotten 3 handoffs, each of them for 5 yards in this drive, which is probably about 7 plays so far. He's getting about half the snaps. And 2 of those at least are read options where the quarterback kept it. So he's getting a third of it, I should say. He's getting a third. Strickland this time out of the backfield on the angle route. Gets the pass. And that's a 15-yard penalty.
Flipping is the call, and now they'll have to find a way to make up those yards right here.
It was a very successful play for Strickland, except for clipping there. Took it all the way.
2nd down and 7 coming up here.
Syracuse Orange, now 2nd and 7. They are strolling downfield, but also eating up clock almost halfway through the first. We are still on the first drive as Custis this time goes downfield for the long reception. First and goal now from the 6 after another good passing play. Heavy defense here against the heavy offense. Dungy rolls out. Pass to the fullback is deflected. And this time, Dante Strickland on the angle out of the backfield. Doesn't need to do any fancy footwork, and he strides right in for the touchdown. Hofrichter deep into the paint. The Zacchaeus takes the knee on the letters. And now we'll see the orange defense as we see a 2 halfback set here from the Cavaliers. And it's to Butts, the tight end, on the flag route as we see Virginia is hurrying up. Jordan Ellis, the number 1 halfback, takes the handoff, but the key gets him stopped in the backfield. It's 2nd and 10 as we see more hurry up from the Cavaliers. Another handoff, and he throws off the first man, but the first man slows him down enough that the second man comes in from the side and gets a secure tackle on Ellis. It's now 3rd and 7. And Joe Reed with the 20-yard reception to the sideline just as he's getting tackled. As the quarterback's getting tackled, I'm sorry.
We've got 1st and 10. Ball on the 39-yard line. Well, after that injury, we'll get to see the backup quarterback here.
This is the backup quarterback. Scoop Bradshaw gets the deflection. Heads-up play by Scoop, as the starting quarterback is still on the sidelines.
Second and 10. Ball on the 39. Well, Kirk, good news. We saw him go to the locker room a little bit earlier with that injury, but apparently he's all right. It looks like he's going to get back in the action here.
The screenplay, and it is blown up for the rare unicorn sack on the screen.
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone, and another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, I'm gonna get them too. Another one bites the dust. Shoot up.
Converted one third down play on this drive, but now they're faced with a third and long.
Third and very long as we see a flex bone here from Virginia. Merrick back to pass.
The cavalry's coming. He flings it.
And the receiver is in double coverage. Davion Ellison goes up and puts his hands on it. Doesn't come down with it, but gets the deflection. As that is going to force the Cavaliers to punt.
Metcalf is back to receive. And this one is
Metcalf steps away from it. It bounces on the 6-inch line right into the end zone for the touchback. Syracuse is going to start on their own 20. It's 2 minutes, 13 seconds left to go in the first.
is on his way back onto the field, and he led a great drive last time out. Syracuse.
Dungy in the backfield, halfback offset. Strickland slides between the gaps in the offensive line, gets 6 yards on first down.
So it's second down now. They need about 4 yards to pick up the first.
Ravian Pierce, the fullback, out in the flat, gets a 0-yard reception. They're going to call it a loss of 1-ish.
The quarterback in the gun. Empty backfield. 5 wide receivers in the formation.
Custis in a gap in the zones, 24 yards on a third and medium. He just ran right into the crease between those zones, and it looked like Dungy knew it was going to be there from the snap. Dungy is scrambling this time, and he throws it out into green space for Custis to go and get it. He doesn't, but he's close, and nobody else is within a mile. Heads-up play there by Dungy to see what he could get. Continue to see 5 wide. Drag route is to Strickland, who was in the right slot this time. That's 3 yards. It makes it 3rd and 7.
Third down now, and they need to get it inside the 41. Syracuse is up by a touchdown.
Shotgun normal halfback weak here. Pierce out in space. Nobody on him. He gets 12 yards on an excellent route. Lost his defender. Shotgun split big here. And this is a keeper for Dungy. He gets out into space on the left and gets shoestringed by the last man, the safety. That's 18 yards on the ground for Dungy. Out of the shotgun split big.
First and 10. Ball on the 17.
More normal halfback week here. Dungy steps back in the pocket. He likes the look upfield. He's running, and he dives for the touchdown.
By the power of Grayskull. Cringer became the mighty Battle Cat, and I became He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe.
And in closing seconds of the first quarter,
Only 3 others
the
share
Orange
the secret.
put another point on the board to make it 14-0.
Throbbing at the mouth after the pick six.
As we change ends of the field, I don't think we're going to be seeing much of a change in the outcome. 14-0, Syracuse. They line up to kick this one away.
The announcer is tempting fate at the beginning of the second.
He sends this one deep. And it goes into the end zone. Down.
Expect members of the New York State Teamsters Union to be looking for them as they make it to their car to get to the airport.
And we welcome you back to the action here. Just about set to start the second quarter. It was a pretty one-sided first quarter.
Once again, we see Flexbone here from Virginia. And they hand it off to Jamari Peacock, the fullback, up the gut for 4 yards, and then they hurry back to the line of scrimmage. Stone is back in the game and gets sacked.
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone. And another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, I'm gonna get you too. Another one bites the dust. Shoot out.
26-yard line. Third down.
The sack obliviates the run on first down. It's 3rd and long. Green forces the quarterback to move, but the defender misplays, and Joe Reed gets his second first down. Once again, the Orange are hurrying up to the line, staying in 5 wide now. Olamide Zacchaeus is tackled after 9. Green continues to get through the offensive line, rushes the quarterback, and now it's 3rd and 1.
So we're looking at another third down here.
Once again, the Flexbone. And Lindell Stone holds onto it and gets sacked for a loss of 4. And Virginia is going to punt again.
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone. And another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, I'm gonna get you too. Another one bites the dust. Shoot out.
Once again, the punt bounces into the end zone, and Syracuse will begin on their own 20.
You think about the challenges these two teams are facing. On one side, you've got to find a way to keep
3 down linemen spread out here against the 5 wide. Dungy doesn't see anything he likes yet. Lofts it to Lofton, who makes the play on the ball as the defender overshoots for the big, almost 50-yard pass.
It's automatic, baby. And it feels so good. And it feels so good.
Now it's 1st and 10 after the big pass play.
already knocking at the door of field goal range after that 50-yard pass. Dungey doesn't like anything. He scrambles out. Inoisi in man coverage on the slant. Finally gets far enough ahead of his man that Dungey points, plants, and throws. It's 1st and 10 now from the 10.
They'll spread the field with 5 wide.
And to the back of the end zone, Inoisi, 10 yards for a touchdown as he drags his feet to make that NFL catch.
When the East is in the house. Oh my God. When the East is in the house. Oh my God. When the East is in the house. Oh my God. When the East is in the house. Oh my God. When the East is in the house. Oh my God. When the East is in the house. Oh my God. When the East is in the house. Oh my God. When the East is in the house. Oh my God. Oh my God.
10-10 tie. A 3-touchdown difference here, Reese.
And that was a bang, bang, bang play as it took, I think, 3 plays for the Syracuse Orange to get downfield and score their 3rd touchdown. Now down by 3, we can expect Virginia to throw out most of their playbook and play 2-minute drill at least until they get it back to a 2.5 score game. As Green puts the quarterback on the ground right after the throw, it was close enough that it is not roughing the passer, and it forces the throw into the flat for a short gain. The screen this time is a bad beat for the Orange.
Boy, that is a great screen play, and to me, it really started with the quarterback and his timing and execution of the screen pass.
They were taunted by that earlier screen sack, and it made them get greedy. Hand off to Ellis. He runs to the outside, and the defense stops him short of 1st down. And continue to see hurry up from the Cavaliers as they've done all game. And Ellis runs through a gaping hole in the defensive line, 16 yards to the red zone. 1st and goal.
Defense stacked in tight here.
Ellis hand off. He gets 4 yards. And another handoff to Ellis, another 4 yards, but he's short of the goal. It's now 3rd and goal from the 1-ish.
From the 1-yard line. 3rd down. And the goal line defense digging in here.
And Syracuse sniffs it out and says, ooh, I think they're going to hand it off to the second halfback. And they stop him for a loss. And it's a big 3rd down loss, as now the Cavaliers are getting very aggressive. They've got a tight end and 5 receivers on the field. That tight end very likely playing O-line.
Defense make a stop. 4th down and goal to go. We're at the 1-yard line. Syracuse going to use their first time out of the half.
Syracuse doesn't like the look and calls timeout. Both teams switching it up as they come out in heavy sets after the timeout. And Jamari Peacock, the fullback, gets the handoff and the touchdown. Metcalf decides to take it out of the end zone. Cuts left. Lots of green space. Looks like he's got a couple of defenders. Maybe the kicker. Nope. And it goes all the way for 103 yards.
Do it now. Let's go.
And with that kick return, it's once again a 3-score game.
Let's throw out to Reese now for a studio update.
Checking in on some ACC action, let's take a look at this one again. And for Boston College, those two guys on the same wavelength. A perfect connection and a touchdown.
And he got all of this one. Great kick.
3 yards into the end zone, and Cross decides to kneel it. It's Virginia ball. They've got 3 minutes, 4 seconds. Plenty of time.
One team scores a touchdown, the other team comes right back and puts another touchdown on the board. This is getting exciting.
They moved the ball very effectively on their last drive, which ended with a touchdown. The defense has been talking it over on the sideline, trying to make some corrections. Let's see if they can stop them this time.
The handoff goes left to Ellis, and he breaks a tackle and gets the first down.
So much time in trying to put a plan together. And to be able to see that actually come into play makes you feel pretty good as a play caller.
Jamari Peacock this time takes the handoff for 4. Jordan Ellis with a reception that gets 10 yards, most of it after the catch, after the quarterback dances around in the pocket. Cavaliers continuing to go at pace. Stone, the quarterback, keeps it this time. He gets 6 yards. Holding on to it to make a pass, Stone loses 5 of the 6 yards he just got. It's now 3rd and long.
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone. And another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna get to do. Another one bites the dust. Shoot up.
Back-to-back sacks there for the Orange. Green gets by, I think it might have been the fullback. No, 76, I think that's actually an offensive lineman. But Green runs right past him, forcing the punt. Metcalf catches the punt this time.
Makes it out to maybe the 20-yard line. Syracuse offense is just clicking on all cylinders, Herbie, right now. It's everything they planned for, and it's all working.
And runs it to the 20.
They seem to be getting better with each series. And
It's Syracuse ball. They've got 2 timeouts and a minute 53.
the ball against this defense, and I think right now
Coming out in a shotgun split big.
seem to be growing with their confidence with each possession.
Dungy keeps it, breaks the edge,
He's out to the 30.
gets tackled at the sideline by the secondary. Great vision to see that he could get outside and outrun the 2 defenders that would peel off their blocks. And getting to the sideline also, looks like it did not stop the clock. We now see 5 wide from the orange. Dungy runs out of the pocket and gets hit as he throws. The ball goes into the dirt. 2nd and 10, stopped clock. Dungy scrambles again. Knocked down by Harris as Metcalf has to fade back to try and get it.
We've got 3rd and 10. Ball on their own 39.
Play action. Custis is wide open, gets 28 yards, and is hit out of bounds downfield. With nobody open early, Dungy has to extend the play. He scrambles out into the flat and then throws it to Lofton, who's coming back after going right to left. Sorry, left to right. He goes right to left, back into space. Dungy scrambles. He gets 3 yards. The ball is knocked out of his hands as he goes out of bounds. Gains 3 yards. Stops the clock at a minute on the 14-yard line.
From the 14-yard line, it's 2nd down. So an empty backfield with 5 wide receivers. Just throws this one away.
Tommy Tanuvasa in on 2nd down, throws it away out the back of the end zone.
Here's the 8th play of the series.
And Lofton, 9 yards downfield. The patient Dungy is protected in the pocket as he waits for Lofton to break open. And now, with less than a minute, they are hurrying to the line. Strickland is forced to call the timeout when he only gets half a yard on the angle route when he falls backwards to catch it. 5 wide on 2nd and goal. Custis, drag route, open, turns upfield.
This one's been entertaining us all day long. Back and forth they go, two heavyweights slugging it out.
He sends this one deep.
Deep in the end zone, Zacchaeus takes the knee. Virginia, is down by 4 scores. They've got 44 seconds and 3 timeouts.
Well, when you come after the quarterback and you don't get there, it usually leaves somebody open, or at least some space to work with.
Quick strike, and he drops it.
And the wide receiver catches it and drops it when he's tackled by 3 closing Orange.
Second down, 10 yards to go. Ball on the 25.
Hit as he throws.
He threw, and he completes it.
Evan Butts, the tight end, beats the first defender, but is stuck in bounds, forcing Virginia to call a timeout after a gain of 12. Lyndall Stone is sacked for a loss of 6 after the defender comes the long way around the back side for the sack.
Another one bites the dust, and another one gone, and another one gone, another one bites the dust. Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna get you too. Another one bites the dust. Shoot up.
So it's the cornerback that comes up with a fumble, and this ball will change.
Forced out of the pocket, Stone scrambles, is hit, loses the ball, and it is scooped up by Dowells of the Orange. The Orange are on Virginia's 35-yard line. There are 24 seconds left in the half. They've got 1 timeout.
Scrambling. Quarterback's going to run it, and he's got room to work. Steps out.
Dungy stepping out of bounds to scramble. He gains 7 yards in 6 seconds.
They need about 3 yards to get the first here on second down. Syracuse up big.
Jamal Custis, 8 yards and out of bounds in 4 seconds.
It's the protection up front that allowed this play to happen. The line
Syracuse now
and it gave the quarterback
just inside the red zone.
to deliver a very nice throw.
Coming out 5 wide now.
Receivers.
Another scramble from Dungy. 4 yards out of bounds in 4 seconds.
Second and 6 coming up here. Ball on the 16-yard line. The sub package in there defensively in this 5-wide receiver set. Now he tries to buy some time. He gets
Another scramble from Dungy. This time the defenders are closing and he throws it away.
He can get in there and disrupt the pocket. And the
There are 5 seconds left in the half.
time getting the ball to his playmakers.
third down and 6 yards to go. Ball on the 16. Offense lines up in a 5-wide set, and the defense anticipating pass here. They'll call a timeout here to avoid a
And the Orange don't like the look, so they call timeout just before the play clock hits 0. They come back out, and Strickland in the slot this time, 16 yards and a touch. And with 2 seconds in the half, Syracuse elects not to let Virginia do anything with it on the kickoff, and will give them one shot downfield.
So can the defense match their effort from the last drive with another takeaway?
Sometimes when you lose the football, you start to focus a little bit more. So a turnover can actually work out in your favor. Concentration laps right there. The coaches will be giving them an earful for it, too.
Jordan Ellis gets 14 yards through the dirt
Syracuse running away with it.
as Syracuse ends the half up 42-7.
We've played 30 minutes. Glad to have you with us on the EA Sports NCAA Football 14 halftime show presented by Nissan. Innovation that excites. David Pollock and I here in the studio to break down everything that just happened in your game. Syracuse has done exactly what you should do against an opponent like this. They're destroying them. But, I mean, why is this game even real?
Here we go. This is why, Reese. Good job. You're awesome. So well played. Perfect execution. We're going to throw out some other good, kind words about you for scheduling a bomb. You just schedule the team that you're supposed to drum. You're supposed to win this ball game. Come on, man. Challenge yourself. Step out of your comfort zone. Play one of the big boys. Just about time.
Well, the problem with that, gentlemen, is that this is a conference game and is obligated to be played, you know, for records and such, because it's a goddamn conference game. And they are a respectable 3-1, so why don't you just, you know, shove it up here.
Brad and Kurt, you're to take this one. Take it away.
And a quick look at some halftime stats while Coach Spectre confers with his team. Over 100 yards already on the ground. Both teams are 1 for 1 on fourth down, with Syracuse being 5 for 6 on third down versus Virginia being 2 for 6 on third down. Only one turnover so far is a fumble, although the Syracuse defenders have gotten their hands on a number of balls so far. Time of possession in Syracuse's favor, but not by too much at this point. Eric Dungy is a fantastic 19 for 24 for 249 and 4 touchdowns in a single half versus Virginia's Lindell Stone, who is 8 for 10 for 123. Now, conversely, rushing, Stone has, due to the number of sacks, negative 17 yards. Ellis is putting on the Jets for an 8-yard gain on 8 attempts. Dungy is the leading rusher, unsurprisingly, for the Orange. Scrambles a whole lot. He's got a 10-yard average, and that includes both scrambles and a couple of intentional quarterback keepers. Strickland, out of the backfield, he does almost more passing than rushing, I believe. We'll see. He's gotten the handoff 4 times for 21 yards. But conversely, yes, he's got 4 receptions for 25 yards. So Strickland, 2 touchdowns, doing more as usual through the air out of the backfield. It is Custis, the wide receiver playing the slot, who is leading in receptions and yardage, although Lofton is giving him a run for his money at second. Virginia receivers, Butts, the tight end, leading it. although I'm not sure why they say he's leading it, because while he's got 2 receptions just like everybody else, both Reed and Ellis have more yards and a higher average. Defensively, 1 tackle for loss so far for the Virginia Cavaliers and 1 deflection. Tackles are spread around. Williams, you can see the safety getting in on most of those plays, and 3 sacks for Green and another 2 for Thomas. So those linebackers coming in on a heavy amount of blitz, and that's a total of 6 sacks between them and Coleman, the end. All right, so with that quick look at the stats, this is your scoring summary so far. Syracuse Orange scored 14 in the first on a Strickland angle and a Dungy scramble and dive at the very last second of the first quarter, followed up by Inoisi for 10, Peacock 1-yard run on 4th down, and then Metcalf, Custis, and Strickland getting the rest of the points. We'll be back shortly to resume. Thank you for bearing with us, folks. We will be resuming shortly. Let's see. Take a quick look. Oh, Merrick is one of those sacks. Okay. Pierce with one pancake block, but no sacks allowed so far. Always good. And Metcalf, yes, the kick return for the touchdown. That's the 103 long. Both teams so far 100% in the red zone. It's just that Virginia has only been there once. Looks like the Orange now are making their way back onto the field, and we will resume shortly.
Very lopsided first two quarters. We'll hope for better as we head into the third.
And Hofrichter kicks it off to begin the third. Cross takes the knee on the letters.
Goes into the end zone, down for a touchback. Syracuse continuing to play extremely tough defense. This has been impressive.
It's just been impressive to watch them play with such an attitude, almost a chip on their shoulder with the energy that they're playing with. I think it's going to require that kind of effort to be able to win this game.
Not a whole lot's been working for them so far. They should just come out and play loose and easy because they've got nothing to lose.
Green dives at the feet of the quarterback and forces the throw to Dubois, who gets pushed out of bounds after only a 1-yard gain. And again, down by 35, we're seeing hurry up out of this 4 wide receiver and a tight end set. Kraft is hit after 8. It's 3rd and 1. Butts moves into the slot. And catches the ball for 8 yards. And Green sends Stone flying for his, I believe, 4th sack of the game.
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone. And another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, I'm gonna get to do. Another one bites the dust. Shoot up.
It's 2nd and long. Ball on their own 36.
2nd and 16 now. as the screen pass this time is red on and green playing end this time, fades out and tackles Ellis right as he's midair. It's going to make it 3rd and 19, very long for the Virginia Cavaliers.
Throws in the middle. Tackle made at the 43-yard line. Wow, a long game.
Back-to-back screens there, but 19 yards and only goes for 10 as the secondary comes back and outnumbers the blockers. Another punt here for Virginia.
Metcalf, the return man. He puts it away, and it's a great kick.
Metcalf lets it bounce into the end zone once again.
Into the end zone, and this will be a touchback. Kirk, this senior quarterback's been impressive in a lot of ways.
You know, you go back to when this kid was a high school senior. There are a lot of schools that recruited him to play wide receiver or defensive back. This school gave him a chance to play quarterback, and boy, has he proven them right. I love to see that this guy now has the ability to be aware of when to get out of the pocket.
Dungy keeps the ball on the option
He can throw the ball. Now we're seeing he can run
and
the football.
slides for 5 out in the flat.
It's 2nd down, 5 to go. Ball on the 25. Syracuse up by a bunch.
Shotgun split now. Dungy
He's taken down at the 28-yard line.
pitches it. Strickland gets 4. And this time a handoff to Strickland. He gets 8 yards on back-to-back carries, sort of.
From their own 37-yard line. 1st down.
Lofton comes in motion. Quarterback keeps it. Pitches it to Lofton. Gets another 6.
48-yard line. From the 48-yard line, it's 1st down.
Shotgun normal here. Dungy scrambles. He's got great blocking. He gets 15 yards before going out of bounds, standing up. And now Dungy has 100 yards rushing this game. After excellent run blocking for the scramble.
We've got a 1st and 10. Ball on the 34.
Back to the
Looking to add to this
split. An earlier pitch to Strickland. Once again, he gets 4 yards and gets tackled after the pitch.
So an empty backfield with 5 wide receivers. He's going to try and scramble.
And perfect timing between Lofton and Dungy to get the ball off on the run and give Lofton the perfect opportunity to fake the second defender. And split the difference between the pair.
This is the 8th play of this drive.
And Tommy Tanuvasa runs it in for the touchdown.
He just put his eyes on that end zone and ran with some real purpose.
This is when the East is in the house.
Oh my God.
Danger. When the East is in the house.
Oh my God.
When the East is in the house.
Oh my God.
Danger. When the East is in the house.
Oh my God.
When the East is in the house.
Oh my God.
Danger. When the East is in the house.
Oh my God.
When the East is in the house.
Oh my God.
Danger. When the East is in the house.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
They line up to kick this one away. Nice kick, plenty of distance.
Cross takes the knee.
This one's going to be down in the end zone for a touchback. Virginia's getting stopped right now. They're unable to get anything going here in the third quarter.
3 minutes in the third. And we'll see. Virginia began the game in the no huddle. We'll see how much hurry up they can actually add to that.
I hope they show some fight here and try to stay competitive. If you're going to get blown out, you at least want to go down swinging. Fires out to his wideout, and he's immediately tackled.
And two defenders tie each other up more than they tie up the receiver, and he gets free and goes downfield for another 10 before being stopped by the safeties. And the Orange sniff out the run, but there's a flag on the play.
Concentration laps right there. The coaches will be giving them an earful for it, too.
First and 10. Ball on the 28-yard line. He's scrambling. And he hits him hard.
Lyndall Stone makes a couple of Orange defenders miss and gets 15 yards for the first down. And the toss out to Ellis only gets 2.
Comes away with about 2 yards on a little toss play.
Excellent defensive read there on short notice.
There were no holes for the halfback to run through.
He throws, and it's intercepted.
Davon Ellison sees where the quarterback is looking, goes up and gets the pick, gets his feet down in the end zone to put an end to that drive. Cavaliers definitely expecting a pass out of that formation. Dante Strickland runs 10 yards right up the Red Sea. It was parted down the middle. This time Dungy takes the handoff. And he gets 11 yards. That's 21 yards on the ground in 2 plays for the Orange.
From their own 42-yard line. First down.
Tanuvasa in. He runs to the outside and then cuts up the gap as soon as he's convinced everybody he's then running for the sideline. He cuts hard into midfield, gets 10 himself before Dungy comes back out in the eye. Play action this time, but Dungy decides to keep it. The fullback gets in front of him, blocks one, and Dungy slides at the feet of the other defender. It's a 12-yard gain.
The big thing is when you have this kind of drive going, you don't want to end it in a field goal. Now you want to focus on trying to put the football into the end zone.
From the 31-yard line, it's first down. Now he's scrambling. He's in trouble.
Dungy, 17 and out of bounds after running into space in midfield and deciding, you know what, out of bounds will make sure I don't get hit. Shotgun split big this time, and Tanuvasa is back in the game, and he gets the ball. He gets 9 yards up the gut and is shoestringed from behind to prevent the touchdown. Syracuse, normally a big play passing team, getting all of their yards this time on the ground. Dungy, that's 4 yards. They've gone 80 yards so far this drive, 76 of them on the ground.
Syracuse with a big advantage.
And Dungy scrambles out and runs it in for the touchdown.
By the power of Grayskull. Cringer became the mighty Battle Cat, and I became He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. Only 3 others share this secret.
Zacchaeus decides not to take it out of the end zone.
I think these coaches love to coach a guy like this, and another great performance by him individually and for this offense.
The quarterback threw an interception on their last drive. Let's see if they can be more successful here.
This quarterback can make good passes. He just needs to focus on not forcing the ball to his receivers.
And Stone apparently put it in the air just as he was being hit by Mahoney.
But they got excellent pressure on that play.
Mahoney doing an excellent job, putting together an audition tape for his #1 career choice, leg breaker for the New Jersey Mob. A couple of dives at the feet force him out of the pocket, but Warren Crafts has enough time to break on his defender. And that's a first down as we begin the fourth quarter.
He fights forward to about the 33.
The draw play sniffed out and stopped for no gain.
Gets it out to him again. He's pushed out of bounds around the 19-yard line. Defense would like to come up with another big play like they did in the last trip for this offense in the red zone with the interception. He makes it out to maybe the 16.
Jordan Ellis with 3 yards on the ground.
From the 16-yard line. Second down.
Flexbone, and the handoff is to Jamari Peacock. He gets swallowed up after 1, and we see a no huddle here. And Stone steps back to make a pass out of the Flexbone and doesn't like anything and throws it away immediately.
And the quarterback is going to have a tougher time getting the ball to his playmakers.
And down 56-7, UVA is going to go for it on 4th and 6. This pass is out to Chris Sharp in the flat. He gets 5, but is swallowed up by 3 defenders. That's a turnover on downs. Syracuse now has it on their own 10-yard line.
Both teams are playing out the stretch here. You want to get experience for guys who normally don't get in the game and try to avoid injuries. Syracuse comes to the line holding that commanding lead. And they get him in the backfield for a loss.
Dungy comes in motion, and Lofton comes in motion, and Dungy gets swallowed up on the attempt at the triple option.
It's second down now. 13.
A defender was let through and stumbled around into being somewhere inconvenient. Dungy scrambles out of his own end zone and gets 5 yards.
Quarterback scramble. Syracuse is going to take their first time out of the hat.
Syracuse doesn't like the look. Decides that they can afford to spend the timeout to get something different.
It's 3rd and 8. Ball on the 12.
And Enoisi in the slot is wide open. And the defense pulls a face mask. It's going to tack on another 15 yards to a play that was already 15 yards. They go from their own, I think, 12-yard line to their own 49-yard line. That's a 30-point play, 30-yard play, I'm sorry. Tanuvasa is running out into the flat. And it's a 37-yard run out of the shotgun split big for Tommy Tanuvasa, finally forced out by the secondary fading back. And after starting on their own 10, 2 big plays put them on their opponent's 15. Dungy scrambling. He gets 3 yards before getting out of bounds.
3 yards there on the quarterback keeper. second and 7. Ball on the 12-yard line.
Syracuse wanting to stop the run as the Orange come out in the eye. Custis reaches back across the plane to catch the ball and then pull it into his body for the touchdown.
When the East is in the house. Oh my God. When the East is in the house. Oh my God. When the East is in the house. Oh my God. When the East is in the house. Oh my God. When the East is in the house. Oh my God. When the East is in the house. Oh my God. When the East is in the house. Oh my God. When the East is in the house. Oh my God. Oh my God.
And he drives this one deep.
Zacchaeus, this time Virginia decides to take it out of the end zone. They're going to get it to the 24-yard line.
He's been a force for this defense.
This is one of those performances that the guys back in the studio in Bristol are going to be talking about all night long. And I think the thing that the offense is struggling to stop is just his overall speed. The offensive line is underestimating, and quite honestly, I just don't think they have the physical manpower to be able to slow him down, prevent him from making plays.
He's scrambling. Looking for the corner.
And Stone scrambles. He shrugs off 2 hits and gets 14 yards. Butts out in the flat, and the defender dives for his legs and spins him to prevent him from going for more than 8. Into deep coverage, and that's another pick for the Orange. Dungy is hit early and spun. He gets 4 yards nonetheless on the triple option. Second and 6, shotgun spread offset. Dante Strickland gets the ball and a 3-yard rush. And it's 9 touches on the ground so far for 50 yards.
It's third down, and they're about 2 yards shy of the sticks.
A handoff to Strickland on the motion triple option loses a yard.
Quarterback needs to be much more decisive with his option reads.
As now, for the first time this game, we will see Murphy in to punt for the Orange.
Will be the return man. He punts it away, and there's no hang time on this one.
And with Murphy's leg, it still goes into the end zone. It's going to be touchback on the 20.
Offense comes back out, looking to improve from their last effort.
One general rule in any game is to hold on to the ball. If you're in the negative in the turnover department, your chances of winning decrease exponentially.
Ellis, out of the backfield, gets 2 yards and is stood up. Less than 2 minutes in the game, and we continue to see no huddle here from the Cavaliers. Same thing, Ellis out of the backfield. This time he got 4.
Just under 2 minutes in the game.
Screen pass goes for negative yardage, but sort of by accident. Some of the defenders didn't read. They went for the quarterback, but they had somebody there who the halfback ran into. So that helps. Metcalf catches the punt. He's breaking it around downfield. Looks like he's headed for the end zone. We'll see if it comes back. And with no flag on the play, that is a 70-yard punt return. And Virginia back on their own 25 after only a single play. The punt return by Metcalf, 70 yards for the touchdown.
Well, late in the fourth quarter, this game has been over for a long time, and now we just want to get out of here like these two teams do. Here comes the pressure. He's got it with room to run.
And Stone shrugs off the closing linebacker and passes into the gap for the touchdown.
A little over a minute in the game. He's under some heat. And down he goes at about the 49.
Stone continuing to shrug sacks. And Bradshaw gets a hand on it. That's his second deflection of the game.
You like a team that's ready to defend the pass. It takes some preparation to get in the way of a pass like that.
From the 49-yard line, second down.
And Ellis stuffed in the backfield. Syracuse spends its final timeout on 3rd and 12 for Virginia.
They come out in an empty backfield.
And that's a sack.
He's very close to the record for sacks in a game.
It's forcing the punt.
After the sack, it's now
And the play clock says that, yes, Virginia is going to have to kick this. Metcalf decides not to take it, goes out of bounds.
this senior quarterback's having a great game.
Well, the thing that stands out to me is the way he's getting the football to his receivers. And with the experience that he's gained over the years,
Syracuse has 19 seconds. They're on their own 9-yard line. They've got no timeouts. They're also leading by 63.
We don't want to see anything nasty and pointless at the end.
Dungy is scrambling,
Here they come. Runs with it.
and he goes out of bounds after 9 yards. Spends 6 seconds to get it. But on the 22-yard line, he's now out of the shadow of his own end zone.
It's second down now. They're just a few feet away from that first down marker. Syracuse up by a bunch.
The handoff to Tommy Tanuvasa. He's out into the flat, and he was tripped up after the big gain, 33-yard run, 5 seconds left.
Still going without a huddle. They'll spread the field with 5 wide. He scrambled. He airs it out.
And a ridiculous long pass by Tanuvasa. His only completion of the game. Custis stops short as the defender goes into the end zone, and the gap gives him enough space to turn around, catch it on the 2, and then stride backwards into the end zone. And that's a dominant 70-point win by Syracuse. A fantastic game on offense. On defense, they gave up a fair number of yards. Stone shrugged many sacks. He still got sacked about 8 times. But the Orange gave up yards but not points on defense, which is always what you'd rather do. And that gave Dungey all the time in the world for the big plays on the ground and in the air. A fantastic game for Dungey, including this wonderful run with the dive at the end to dive under the diving defender. Metcalf with 2 returns, a kick return and a punt return, both for touchdowns. That is a dominant win for number 3 Syracuse.
Hello, sports fans. Coach Spectre here, just finishing up, enjoying the celebratory victory lap. We are now ready for our second game of the doubleheader, where your Navy midshipmen, led by Coach Ninja, are going to take on the number 8 team in the country, the USF Bulls. This is a conference matchup. It's interdivisional. It's interdivisional. It won't count in the standings for the American West Division, but it definitely will count in the standings for the conference. This is a team that was able to defeat Coach Ninja last year, but of course, he's done a fantastic job improving Navy, improving the roster across the board with astute redshirting and recruiting. So this year's team is a little bit stronger for Navy, and we'll see what Coach Ninja has in store for the Bulls. He's going to lead you through the USF depth chart here and give you an inside look as to what he's facing off against. It's a good team.
All right. Thank you, Coach. First off, Brett Keene is a solid junior 89 with decent legs and good awareness. He's got a fantastic 350 yards a game through the air and 16-4 touchdown to passing ratio. He's got a little bit on the ground in the tune of 41 yards a game, but that's ends up being only a 3.3 yard average. So we'll see what we can let slide with him on the ground. We're not gonna pressure the scramble too much to begin the game, at least. Jordan Cronkite is out of the game, thank God, and the junior Trevon Sands is a speedy back, but with poor awareness and notes and limited strength. We hope to be able to tackle him effectively. The fullback is not much to speak of. We hope they use one because he's not very good. Wide receiver 91, Tyre McCants, is dangerous at 80 yards a game. Darnell Solomon less so at 40. And Chauncey Smart is injured, previously having gotten 50 yards a game. But the person that we are downright scared of is Mitchell Wilcox, the tight end, 140 yards a game to the tight end, 4 receiving touchdowns. Yeah, we're going to be focusing on Mitchell Wilcox all game until they decide not to go for, until they prove that they're not going to him. We're going after him all game. He's got that nice big impact player star on him. We're going to find him. We're going to highlight him. We're going to go after him. We're going to double team him. We're going to do all of the things. The offensive line, 82, 80, 76, 83, 85 is decent, manageable. We hope to do something against it. It's better at the outside than the inside. 86 left end, 89 right end, 87 first D tackle, 82 second D tackle is a solid front, but that isn't amazing. Linebacker, 79, 88 middle linebacker, but no backup to speak of. Or I'm not sure why they put Culpepper at backup instead, but that's what they're doing. That's a beatable linebacker core. Middle's the best, but we could hopefully do something against that. Corners, 88 impact, 84. That impact will help us stay away from him. The other guys, those are beatable with routes. They're good, but they're not. Yeah. Drags, drags, slants, man coverage could hurt them. Yeah, so it looks like don't have a lot of speed in the secondary. Hopefully that's something we can take advantage of. Unfortunately, Navy also not a team with a lot of speed in the wide receiver corps. All right, 79 and 83 decent legs. That's going to be a good kicker in the long term. Yeah, they got 2 good freshman legs. So they'll be dangerous for years, but hopefully we can get some good field position on them this year. All right, and that's the look at the USF Bulls. Without further ado, we'll get started. Navy looking to upset the USF Bulls for our second win of the year. Go to 1-2 in the conference. We are, of course, concerned about their number 18 in the country turnover differential versus our -3. So we'll be cautious. We hope to play smart. Go Navy.
As you saw there, USF with the number 4 passing attack in the country. Navy anticipating a lot of spread sets, a lot of air raid, a lot of heavy pass usage by the Bulls. The good news is that their star tailback out for this game with an injury. Midshipmen going on the road down to Tampa, one of their longer trips in the conference. They don't play USF every year, but they've played them now 2 years running. You expect that they may not play them for some time, barring an appearance in the conference championship game. Once again, the number 6 rushing defense for Navy. That might not come into play, though, facing off against an offense that is 10th in yardage and 4th in the pass, 104th rushing. The Bulls, a team that airs it out, 12th in the nation in scoring. There you see, led by Wilcox, 140 yards a game from the tight end position. That is a phenomenal number. And there's Cronkite hurt, the 91 overall, 240-pound halfback. McCants, though, contributing 6 touchdowns from the receiver position. They like him in the red zone. Jarvis Polu leading the charge for the Navy defense.
Glad to have you with us in the studio. I'm Reese Davis, bringing you the EA Sports NCAA Football 14 pregame show presented by Nissan.
The cannons are blaring from the pirate ship in the end zone of the Buccaneers Stadium, where USF plays their home games. You see the architecture there on the right side in the end zone. This is an NFL stadium, and it's packed today for this tight contest between American Conference foes. Coach Ninja making the pregame adjustments. The preparations in place for the midshipmen.
Both teams have sent their special teams out of the field, and we're ready for the opening kickoff.
Navy will get the ball to start the second half. USF here on their first drive. They will begin from the 25 following the touchback. We see 3 wide receivers, a tight end, and a halfback coming out of the huddle for the Bulls.
So let's see what the offense can do as they come out onto the field.
Keene back to pass. Fantastic catch by Trey McCants. Diving catch necessary as the ball was a little bit out in front of him on the first play of the game. No huddle for the Bulls. The slant, good for 16. Darnell Salomon with the catch. No huddle again. We expect to see that for the duration of the game now USF likes to hurry up. The pocket's pushed, but not enough. Solomon breaks free. He's inside the 10 and in the end zone for a 45-yard touchdown. The third play of the game. 3 passes. Brett Keane, 3 for 3. The home crowd going to be a little bit amped, but we are still in the early going. We welcome you to the second game of our doubleheader as Coach Ninja's Navy midshipmen take on number 8, USF. Kick us up and good. It's 7-0. 18 seconds into the ball game, and Navy will have their opportunity to respond.
You always prepare your offense to think that we're going to have some success. These guys got to be coming over the sidelines after touchdown saying, man, I didn't expect it to be this easy.
And he got all of this one. Great kick. And it goes into the end zone, down for a touchdown.
It's deep into the end zone. Navy elects to take the ball at their own 25. They'll start the ball in the middle of the field.
Yeah, I think one of the things you have to do as a quarterback when you go on the road and you get in this kind of tough environment is get off to a fast start. And he told us this week one of the big things that he's trying to emphasize to his team is that
A couple of quick formation subs for Navy, taking advantage of a few seconds off the play clock. And we'll see 5 wide here on this first play. Lewis back to pass. Hits Carmona, running right to left across your radio dial. Shags the first tackle and falls forward for the first down on the first play of Navy's drive. They're out to the 35-yard line. We've yet to reach 30 seconds into the game.
From their own 35-yard line. First down.
The midshipmen coming out of the huddle with 2 tight ends, although one of them is a wide receiver. It's the halfback up the gut. Brown picks up 1. Now going to be 2nd and 9. Although the ball now spotted at the 37. More than likely a yard and a half on that play. Shotgun wide trips for the middies. 4 down linemen for the Bulls. Hits Brown out of the backfield. He falls forward across the first down. And it's another first down for Navy. That's 2 on the drive as they approach midfield.
recognition by the quarterback to find the hot receiver.
From their own 47-yard line. It's first down.
Twin tight end set again for the middies. The drag route is hit. There's no gain on the play. However, not a bad idea to pass out of that eye tight just to keep USF honest.
Second down, 10 yards to go. Ball on the 40.
2nd and 10 right near the midfield stripe. Brown up the gut. Picks up 1.5 again. The ball on the 48. Four down linemen again for USF, and Navy coming out in the 5 wide set. 3rd and 9. Scrambling to the left, Lewis running. He's going to get the first down and a lot more. It's a 17-yard gain, and he gets out of bounds before suffering contact. It's going to be another first down for the middies. The next play will see them on USF's 35-yard line as they get well into Bull territory.
First down, 10 to go. Ball on the 35.
Shotgun normal halfback, weak for the midshipman. It's a read option. It's a keeper for Lewis. He navigates his way in the gap, picks up a good 7-yard gain on first. That's going to set the midshipman up with second and short.
They need about 3 yards to get the first here on second down.
Maybe coming out of the eye tight once again. Sends Carmona in motion. Heavy pass rush, and Lewis is sacked for a loss of 6. Going to bring up 3rd and 9. Number 99, Bronson, on the sack. "34-yard line, the marker. Right at the fringe of field goal range for the midshipmen.
And here's another third down. 5 wide.
5 wide set for the middies here on 3rd down. Lewis back to pass, surveys the field, hits Scott on the underneath route. He's got the first down and a few more. And Navy gets a fresh set of downs on the 21-yard line.
Play of the drive.
A sea of hands there, and the ball falls incomplete for Lewis's first incompletion of the game. So far, he's 4 out of 5 for 33 yards. Now going to be 2nd and 10 from the 21.
From the 21-yard line. Second down.
Shotgun wide trips once again for the midshipmen. It's a pass to Lee out on the flat. He picks up 2. Now going to be 3rd and 8 on the 18-yard line. Navy well in field goal range, but they certainly would love to convert here.
Well, they'll line it up again on 3rd down. 2 for 2 so far on this drive. They come out in an empty backfield.
Audible by Navy, and it's eaten up for a 2-yard loss. Now going to be 4th and 9. Navy going to be forced to bring the special teams unit out on the field and get their first points of the game as star Bennett Moring comes out for a 37-yard attempt. There's a 6-mile-an-hour wind against him, but this is well within his range. Kick is up and good. The old coach's mantra, the first points are indeed the hardest. Navy on the board, 7-3 in the early going. Still in the first quarter here in this American Conference matchup.
Sends it sailing downfield.
Clairvaux brings it out of the end zone, breaks the first tackle, but not the second and third. He's going to go down after a 25-yard return that's going to set the Bulls up with possession on their own 23.
last time we saw this offense on the field, they drove the length.
It took 3 plays for USF to score last time. Let's see what the Navy defense has in store for them. Hits the slant. He's shoestring tackled. The return man, Clairvaux, picks up a 6-yard gain. That's his first catch of the day. 2nd and 4, the down and distance, as USF once again goes to the no-huddle, hurry-up offense. Big catch by Tyree McCants. It's a 37-yard gain. Keene now 5 for 5 here in the early going. It's going to take them all the way down to Navy's 36. It's a handoff up the gut, and Sands takes the Navy defense by surprise, picks up 15. His first carry of the game, Trayvon Sands, the backup tailback for USF. Back to the passing game go the Bulls. They hit Wilcox, the tight end, for an 8-yard gain. That's his first catch of the day as well. Navy defense adjusts, causes Keene some difficulty, but he breaks a few tackles and gets 8 off to the right sideline, and now USF knocking on the door at the 5-yard line, going to be 1st and goal. Keene takes off again. The defense ready this time, takes him from behind for only a gain of 1. Still going to be 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line.
Just inside the 5. It's 2nd down.
It's a run to the right. Quarterback stumbles and is able to get the pitch off. Trayvon Sands gets the score. USF has 2 drives for 2 touchdowns here in the early going. Kick is up and good. 14-3 the score. Home crowd happy. Navy gritty. Laster's going to bring it out of the end zone. Breaks the tackle. Off to the left. Outside the 30. Almost to the 35-yard line. Good return for 40 yards for Terrence Laster. That's going to set up Navy with excellent field position out at their own 35-yard line. Good place to start their second drive of the game as they look to respond. Navy in the flex bone. Lewis on the keeper. Picks up good yardage. It's a 6-yard gain. Going to be 2nd and 4 now as we watch the winding down seconds of the first quarter.
So it's 2nd down now. They need about 4 yards to pick up the first.
Navy in the flex bone once again. Audibles at the line of scrimmage. Another quarterback keeper. Lewis out to the right side. Tackled after 10. Lewis has 32 yards so far, a 5.3-yard average. On pace for well over 100 yards. As we go to the second quarter, the teams don't have to move much as Navy is about a half a yard shy of the 50-yard line. Flexbone for Navy, 4 down linemen for USF. Lewis on the keeper. 8 yards to the left side. Going to be second and just 2 as they enter USF territory once again. Opportunity here for Coach to call a play that could perhaps set something up further down the road. Tipped by the defender. Culpepper with the deflection. Going to be 3rd and 2. That's just Lewis's second incompletion on the day. He's now 5 for 7.
Interception. He was smart. Got in position, knocked the football away, and didn't give the receiver a chance to make a play on the football.
They come out in a 5-wide set.
Lewis back to pass, hits the crossing route. Carmona picks up 2 yards. It's just shy of the first down. Now going to be 4th and inches on the 41-yard line. And it looks like Navy's going to keep the offense out on the field and try to extend this drive. As you know, if you follow the league regularly, coaches are allowed 12 fourth downs for the season. Navy spending 1 here. It's a fullback dive, and Gargiolo picks up 3 to extend the drive. Navy gets a fresh set of downs. Big conversion there here in the early going. Flexbone for Navy. Lewis on the keeper, picks up 3. Now going to be 2nd and 7. Culpepper with the tackle. Lewis now has 9 carries for 43 yards. That's a 4.8 yard average, but 0 on that last play is going to leave them with 3rd and 7. They're at the 35-yard line, once again on the outskirts of field goal territory for kicker Bennett Mooring. It's the 5-wide set for the Middies. Lewis scrambling to the left. Can't evade the tackler. It's a sack for a loss of just 1. And now with a 6-mile-an-hour wind at their back, Navy may still be in field goal range. They've got an excellent kicker. This will be a 52-yard kick. He's already nailed 1, so the kicker's slightly heated up at this point. We'll take a look here. Coach going to look at Mooring's kicking power. The senior 88 kicker. He's got 84 power. That should be enough from 52 yards thanks to the 6-mile-an-hour wind. They'll have to angle it down just a little bit and get good power on it. But this is a makeable kick.
A one-possession game with this kick right here.
It's up and just misses. Falls just shy. We'll see here on the replay how close that kick was. Looks like it was about 1 yard short.
One-sided first quarter, but I wouldn't be surprised if things changed in a big way before halftime. He's going to try and scramble. Tackle around the 44-yard.
Keen on the 9-yard scramble. Good coverage. Forced him out of the pocket. About 5 minutes left here in the first half, and we remind you, Navy gets the ball to start the second. Clairvaux breaks one, but not the second. It's a gain of 7. Keene 7 for 7 so far. Out to the left, towards the sideline. Clairvaux stays in bounds, picks up 12. He's got 3 catches so far. And this time, Keene is contained. He's going to be sacked for a loss of 5. Going to be second and long. Second and 15. This is an opportunity for the Navy defense. It's going to get USF out of their no huddle. Navy's going to have an opportunity to arrest a couple of defenders.
Second and long. Ball on the 42.
It's a 4-man front for Navy. Shotgun set for USF. Good coverage slows the attacker. Help is on the way, and they contain him for a 1-yard play. Now 3rd and long. Good coverage all around. Good pass rush. Good pass coverage by the linebacker. And USF forced to go for a long field goal with the wind against them. The freshman kicker does not have the range, and Navy proves that they can stop this team.
Check out action in East Hartford and for UConn. They jump out in front. The Huskies are on top, 3-0.
14-3 game here, Reese. You think about the challenges these two teams are facing. On one side,
2 missed field goals finds Navy taking over in excellent field position at their own 40. Flexbone to a pass, and Lewis goes down for the sack. Couldn't get rid of the ball in time, and now going to be 2nd and 17.
The blitz didn't get home, but it did free up a defensive lineman to get to the quarterback to come up with that.
It was a heavy pass rush on that play, and the only way that Navy was going to avoid the sack was to get rid of the ball immediately. A little bit over 3 minutes left in the first half. Lee, the tight end, is open and falls across the first down line while being tackled by 2 defenders. It's going to be a conversion on 2nd and 17. Big play by Navy. They can take a breath as they set up shop in USF territory at the 49-yard line.
from the 49-yard line. First down.
You see there, both teams with 7 first downs so far. Fullback gets held up in the backfield. The offensive lineman in front of him got pushed backwards. That caused enough traffic for him not to be able to get his momentum going. Going to be a loss of 3. It's now 2nd and 13. Midshipmen back into their own territory at the 48.
From their own 48-yard line. Second down.
Brown out of the backfield has the first down and one more. They needed 13. They got 14. And they're going to go to the no huddle here and keep USF's defensive personnel on the field. Run up the gut, and Brown picks up good yardage. It's an 8-yard gain. Now going to be 2nd and 2 as we creep just inside 2 minutes. Navy, of course, having all 3 of their timeouts, the full complement. With the ball now at the USF 30. Brown out of the backfield on the angle route, gets the first down and 7 more. It's a 9-yard gain. He's got 33 yards receiving here in the first half. Navy now, 1st and 10, are on USF's 21-yard line.
5 guys will be out in the pattern as they're in the shotgun.
Lewis back to pass, scrambles to the left, picks up good yardage, dodges a defender, sneaks inside then outside. Great play by Lewis, sets up Navy with 1st and goal. 1 minute, 1 second left. They're going to want to make sure that they don't allow USF 30 seconds or more. They're going to try to get this thing into the paint with less than 30 seconds.
First and goal, and they'd love to get into the end zone and make this a game again.
Handoff up the gut. Good play for Navy as Brown gets 3 and puts the clock in motion. The ball resting at the 3, and with their full complement of timeouts, Navy has complete luxury. They can hike this thing with 20 seconds and still get another playoff after this one.
I was thinking of letting it go all the way down and calling a timeout.
And this is the 9th play of the current drive.
It's a timeout by Navy with 20 seconds remaining. They want to take every possible second off the clock, and they'll use a timeout to do so.
That brings up a 2nd and goal. Ball on the 3.
There it is, up the gut, and Navy pulls within 5, awaiting the extra point. (14-10) the score, just seconds before the halftime. Navy to receive in the second half. Good 60-yard drive down the field by the midshipmen. Pulls them within 1 score. Hello, CWAC. CWAC, of course, the coach of Indiana in this dynasty. Coach, are you going to be able to play your game this weekend? Smith on the carry, picks up the first down, and USF uses a timeout, and they'll go now from killing the clock to running a 2-minute drill.
The Bulls will use their first time out of the half. From their own 41-yard line. First down. And down he goes at the 45-yard line. They got to the quarterback a little late there.
Roughing the passer is going to tack on 15 yards, and suddenly USF on the 30-yard line. That's going to be about the edge of their range on the kick. If Navy can get a sack here, that could mean points.
First down, 10 to go. Ball on the 30. They'll spread the field with 5 wide. He scrambled.
USF back to pass, and they'll call timeout with 3 seconds left at about the 27, 28-yard line. 29 is what they're going to call it as they bring the kicking unit out onto the field. They've already missed one. Let's see what the freshman does this time. It's up, and it sneaks inside the left upright. And at the half, USF leads by 7. Their offense has scored on 3 of 4 drives. Navy has a stop and has scored 10 points themselves to be within a score, awaiting the second half kickoff. Navy hanging tough with the number 8 team in the country.
I just hope we continue to see this kind of execution. It's a lot of fun to be able to watch these offenses make plays, and it kind of has that feel. Whoever does have the ball last and a chance to make a play can win this game.
The quarterback in the gun.
5 wide set here on first down.
He's scrambling. He's got to throw in a hurry. They bring him down. They've been all over this quarterback today.
The pass protection has got to do a better job, but give this defense some credit.
Matron Culpepper on the sack. He was waiting out there in the flat. He's been doing that a lot this game. USF leaving defenders in the flat in coverage. Carmona on the drag route picks up 3. Now going to be 3rd and 9. Navy on their own 26.
From their own 26-yard line. 3rd down. Defense goes with the extra defensive backs as the offense comes
Coming out in the 5 wide set. 4 down lineman for USF. Good catch by Carmona, and he hangs on despite the machinations of 2 defenders who met him almost simultaneously. But the senior, Carmona, makes the big play on 3rd and long and extends the drive.
First and 10. Ball on the 44.
Navy in the flex bone again. USF safety in the box. They run to the left, and he stumbled, but he does pick up 3. Lewis now 53 yards rushing, despite a couple of sacks.
From their own 46-yard line.
You see the yardage there at the bottom of the screen, fairly close. Quarterback keeper by Lewis. It's a good pitch. It's a 6-yard gain, and they face 3rd and 1 instead of 3rd and 3 or 3rd and 4. Well-timed pitch on the option by Lewis. Picks up a couple of extra yards and makes this one a little bit more possible.
third down, and this offense is about 3 feet away from that first down marker. Empty backfield, quarterback in the gun, 5 wide receivers.
It's another conversion on third down as Navy waits on the play. The drag route was well covered, but good patience in the pocket by Coach Ninja gets the slant route on the second look. Good run by Lewis. He cuts up the field at the right time, picks up 7 yards. He's up to 60 on the game. And plucky Navy hanging tough with a vastly superior team. Give to Gargiulo. He picks up 5 up the gut on the fullback give. 1st and 10 on USF's 25-yard line. Navy marching.
From the 25-yard line, it's first down.
We're about halfway through the third quarter. Incomplete pass. A few bodies there. Not necessarily a dangerous throw, but a crowded one. Navy giving ample rest to their offensive line. So run up the gut to Brown. He picks up 6. Now going to be 3rd and approachable. 4 yards to go for the first down. As Navy creeps inside the red zone. The ball resting at the 19-yard line. You can read the letters in the end zone. Quick pass to Lee. Amir Lee, the tight end, picking up 6 on 3rd and 4. That's his 3rd catch of the day. The tight end, always a useful part of Navy's offense. As they now set up shop on first down at USF's 13-yard line.
This is the 12th play of this drive.
Flexbone for Navy, 4 down lineman for USF. Fullback give up the middle. He falls forward for 2.
3 yards on that carry.
2nd and 8 from the 10.
Second down, 8 yards to go. Ball on the 10.
It's a shotgun set for Navy. Lewis back to pass, looking. Hits the drag route from right to left, and Lee picks up 4 Going to be 3rd and 3. Lewis 14 out of 17 on the day. The ball resting at the 6.
Another third down upcoming, and they've converted all 3 this drive. They'll spread the field here. Let's see what the defense does with a 5-wide outlook.
5 wide set for Navy. Carmona in the end zone. And we're an extra point away from a tie football game. Navy responding with their opening drive of the second half, taking up 5.5 minutes plus. Now with 1:17 left in the third quarter, Navy almost tied.
Here's the PAT to tie this thing up. And he tacks on the extra. It was a 46 yard, and they come away with 7. Teams that we're into the third quarter and nobody's been able to
77 seconds remaining in the third. USF now on their first drive of the second half. And it's going to go in the books as a sack. It's going to be a loss of a half a yard as Michael Anawoha picks up a sack. No huddle still for USF. Navy has proven already once that they can stop this team. And it's another tackle for loss. That's going to be 3rd and long. Keene hits the corner route, and USF converts. Wilcox's 3rd catch of the day. Keene now 11 for 12. Heavy pressure again by Navy forces the incompletion as Keene chucks the ball out of bounds for just his 2nd completion of the day. Navy hanging tough. Remember, this is a team that last year defeated the Midshipmen at their house by 24 points, and yet here we are approaching the end of the third quarter in a tie football game. The number 8 team in the country. Navy once again flushing the quarterback, tackling him after a gain of 5, going to be 3rd down again for the 2nd time this drive. This should be the last play of the third quarter. It's a handoff up the gut, and Sands picks up the 1st down and more, takes the Navy defense off guard. That's just his 5th carry of the game. Navy playing the pass for good reason, as USF, the 4th-ranked passing offense in the country, the number 8 team, and once again, heavy pressure forces another incompletion by Keene. That's his 2nd incompletion this drive. As we enter the 4th quarter, it's a tie football game. Kick is up and wide right. The freshman misses his second kick of the game. He is a 79, but he is a freshman 79. Talent for the future, but still a little scared, obviously, as he misses his second kick. Navy now, a little bit of pressure taken off them. They don't trail. They have the ball tied. Lewis goes down for the sack. Couldn't get rid of the ball in time. That's Bronson's second sack of the day as he matadors the left guard and wreaks havoc in the Navy backfield. Second and long, 18 yards to go. Navy coming out in the shotgun wide trips. Pass is deflected at the line. Navy's going to look for a long pass that they may not have called too many times today. Third and 18. Lewis back to pass. Hits Carmona. It's going to be close, and they give him the spot. A clutch, 3rd and 18 conversion. "39-yard line, the marker. 6:49 remains. Flexbone give to the fullback. Gargiolo picks up a good, solid 11-yard gain. They weren't looking for that one.
From midfield, first down.
Gargiolo up the gut, picks up 2. Going to be 2nd and 8 as Navy passes the 100-yard threshold in rushing yards on the day. We're locked in a tight one here, folks, as Navy looking to knock off the number 8 team in the country, a team that blew them out of the water last year, on the road in Tampa, a long way from home. Lewis hits Brown out of the backfield. He picks up 7. Now going to be 3rd and short. No doubt Navy looking to call a play they may not have called too many times. Going to run no huddle here. It's a run up the gut, and they get enough. More than enough. It's a 4-yard gain. They needed 3 feet. They got 12. 37-yard line, the marker. 5:01 remaining.
And this is the 8th play of the drive.
Lewis tackled for 0. Going to be 2nd and 10. Plenty of time to rest tired linemen and tired running backs. It's a run up the gut. Brown picks up good yardage. It's a 7-yard gain. Now going to be third and approachable. Just 4 yards to go. And if you think about it, this may be a 4-down situation. Navy on the 31, they could kick it with the wind at their back. They'd like to get the first down, but I bet you if they're short, they will consider going for it. Going to be 4th and inches.
It's 4th down, and they're going to try to go for it.
Doesn't get much, but it's enough. It's another 4th down conversion. That's 2 today. But this one, the most important. We're now inside 3 minutes. Navy at the 26-yard line, in field goal range. The clock moving.
Here's the 12th play of the drive. Just under 3 to go in regulation.
Handoff to Brown. Good hole. 12-yard gain, and they're inside the 20.
That makes it 1st and 10.
From the 15-yard line, 1st down.
2:03 and counting. Tick, 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 go the seconds.
He gets out to about the 15-yard line.
Brown with no gain, but that clock is moving. Read option, give to the halfback. Brown up the gut. It's 3rd down, but we're about to get inside of a minute. If Navy keeps this ball on the ground, regardless if they get the 1st down, there's going to be very little time on the clock.
And this is the 15th play of a very solid drive. We have less than a minute to go. Run there.
You talk about a masterpiece. This offense right now is working exactly the way they had planned all week.
They've got 1st and goal on the 3.
An offensive coordinator, an offensive staff, or what you think might work. Put it out there and you wonder how many adjustments are we going to have to make. Well, right now, this offense doesn't have to make any adjustments because their plan is working.
They're going to let that clock run all the way down. The field goal unit on the field. Navy looking to take a very, very, very late lead. Kick is up and good with 4 seconds left. A long, time-consuming drive sees Navy, underdog, upstart Navy, leading the number 8 team in the country. 1 and 4 Navy.
Nice kick, plenty of distance. And it goes into the end zone, down for a touchback.
USF's going to have time for 1 Hail Mary.
Late in the fourth quarter in a one-possession game. And poise is what it's all about here. Who's going to have it and who won't. And it all comes down to this. One last chance to throw one up and see if somebody can bring it down and win the game.
It's deep. It's incomplete. And Navy pulls off the massive upset. That's a game changer, folks. That can alter your season. Navy, tiny Navy, pulling off the 20-17 upset over the number 8 team in the country. Garrett Lewis, your player of the game, 200 yards of offense, 150 in the air, 50 on the ground. The game manager, as Navy worked the clock, played smart, was able to get just enough stops, held USF to 3 field goal attempts. And the freshman kicker for the Bulls only able to convert 1 out of 3 kicks. That is the difference in the ball game, folks. Bennett Mooring, 2 out of 3 on kicks, and USF's freshman, 1 out of 3 on kicks. The Navy defense coming up with stops against a high-powered offense. Massive upset by the midshipmen. They will move to 1-2 in the conference. They now move to divisional play in the American West Division and could potentially turn their season around. Knocking off number 8 in the country, you can expect Navy to move up 20 spots or more in the polls, in the championship contender rankings. We'll take a look at the game stats here, and then we're going to take you into next week's schedule. You see 20 first downs for Navy, 288 yards. They actually outgained the Bulls. You would not have predicted that. The number 4 offense, number 4 passing offense, number 10 overall offense held to just 255 yards. A ball control offense for Navy, 37 carries, 22 pass attempts, and Lewis 18 out of 22 with no mistakes. 0 turnovers by Navy, 0 by USF. But game management and strong red zone defense and strong defense inside their own 40-yard line and a massive edge in time of possession. The textbook small ball game management, first downs, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, flexbone Navy offense triumphs over the number 8 team. Lewis with 53, Brown with 55. Gargiolo picked up 20 from the fullback position. Perry with 7 in the run game. Receiving, Carmona picks up 7 for 59. Clutch catches, including 1 on 3rd and 18 that kept the game-winning drive alive. Brown and Lee contributed 4 receptions, 5 receivers with catches for the Navy offense. Defensively, the Navy defense coming up with several key stops. You don't see a whole lot of flash here in these stats, but as a team, they were able to pressure the quarterback. They picked up 2 sacks, but there were an awful lot of quarterback hurries. They flushed the quarterback often. They contained him to small gains for the most part on quarterback scrambles, and game management wins the day. Navy, your Navy midshipmen, led by Coach Ninja, upset the number 8 team in the country 20-17 in Tampa on the road against an undefeated football team, vastly superior in roster. We're going to take a look here at next week's schedule and give you a look into the future as to who Syracuse and Navy will take on in next week's games. We broadcast typically on Friday nights. We thank you for joining us tonight. We hope you'll join us next week for these exciting matchups. That was week 7. Week 8 holds Louisville, led by senior quarterback Lamar Jackson. He's a 99 overall. Going to lead Louisville at Syracuse. That was a game that went to 4 overtimes last year. And Navy hosts Tulane. Tulane defeated Navy last year. Tulane is a heavy rushing attack. Tulane is a heavy rushing attack. You see there the 10th ranked rushing team in the country. So Navy will go from the 4th ranked passing offense facing off against USF to the 10th ranked rushing offense next week. 260 yards a game for Tulane as they run an academy style offense, a slight variation of a little bit more Air Force than Army and Navy traditionally run. A little bit more passing, but definitely a run heavy option attack. That's a team, like we say, that defeated Navy last year, but this time Navy gets them at home, and of course, coming off a massive win, will have a lot of their players heated up and on hot streaks. So 2 good matches next week. Lamar coming into town in Syracuse with Louisville, and Navy taking on a heavy rushing attack with a 3-2 Tulane team. That will be their first American Conference West division game, a key Western Division matchup. Once again, we thank you for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed it. We hope you enjoy it next week when we broadcast. We hope you have an excellent week. Kick its ass.